Hello, I'm Amy and I did a medical trial in April 2010 with HMR, which lasted about 3 weeks. It was to test a drug for rheumatism. It had already been tested and they knew it was safe, but they wanted to see if the drug needed to be taken with food or without food to see the side effects. I filled out a form online and they literally got back to me the next day. They phoned up and then you have to have a telephone interview with them where they go through really in-depth medical history. The HMR Medical Trial Centre was in London, so you went in for 4 days and 3 nights, 3 times over the space of 3 weeks. So it was one residential visit per week. The reason I did this trial was because I really needed the money, and they paid me £1,600 for it. They give you all your food and accommodation as well, so it's not like you're being put out of pocket, and they pay for your travel as well. So it was just a good way of earning money really quickly. I arrived there and it looked like a massive just hospital. They have like quite a few clinical trials going on at the same time. And your ward is your set clinical trial. So they're the people that you're going to be with for the whole time. The people that were doing my trial, they were all really lovely. A lot of them were students like me. Most people were kind of early 20s, late 20s. A lot of people were doing it to get money for travelling, just to help out with student fees as well. You kind of become like a little family because you're kind of going through a bit of a weird experience that no one else can relate to. So you kind of all click straight away and you just chat because you're going to be with these people for 4 days for 24 hours. So yeah, you just kind of chat, and there's a big social area. You can watch films and DVDs, and there's games and stuff to play as well. Played a long game of Monopoly. So once you've taken the drug, you have a nurse with you all the time, and at first they checked up on you every 10 minutes because they have to take blood samples and do ECGs on you and just monitor you. As soon as you feel like a headache or you've got a stomach or you feel a bit wheezy, you have to tell them straight away. Everything needs to be recorded down. And it kind of gets, as the drug wears off, they check up on you less and less. But still throughout the whole day you get checked up on at least every hour. And then obviously when you go to bed they don't check up on you, but then straight away in the morning you have all your checks done again. On the day that we took the drug, there are 2 conditions you could be in. You either had to swallow the pill with a whole glass of water, and then that was it. Or if you were in the second group, you would have to take the pill with a glass of water and then eat some massive fry up and a big pint of whole fat milk. You have to eat it within a certain time frame because it has to be all kind of fair for the trial. When I took the drug with just the water, I felt a bit woozy, and that's what most people got, was a side effect. But that's what they were trying to find out, if you had to take the drug with food or with water. Yeah, so a lot of people went lightheaded, but the nurses were all there to look after you. So a lot of people, when they also took it with the water, got very sleepy as well, so they just stayed in bed a lot. And then I found when I had it with the food, I felt completely fine. There was nothing happened. None of the drugs were placebos because they'd already trialled it to find out if it would be safe or not. This was kind of just a stage to see how it should be taken and how it should be administered to people, and what kind of symptoms arise if you take it. Because with a lot of like medication, you've been told you have to eat food when you have it, or you can't eat food. So it's just to figure those sort of guidelines out. You get sent loads of information about it, so I read through that properly because I don't want to get myself into something that's going to hurt me. And I think because I knew that it had already been tested on people that knew it was safe, I was kind of more open to doing this one because I knew it wouldn't, or I didn't know for definite, but I was more aware that there wouldn't really be any complications with it. The people there are really lovely though. It's like some people think that it's just going to be you're in a little ward and you're just hooked up to all these wires, but they really go out of their way to make sure you're having a good time as well, and they're really chatty. I would definitely recommend it to people, especially HMR. I thought they were amazing. Um, but I think people need to definitely read up on it and get as much information as they can, because if you think at the beginning you're not going to be comfortable, then you're not going to be comfortable. It needs to be, some people will be happy to take a drug that hasn't been tested at all, but I personally wouldn't do that. I'd be a bit too worried about the effects. But I think there's a lot of variations that people don't know about with medical trials. So it's not all brand new drugs that they've never trialled before. There's a lot of stages to getting approval for drugs.